Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this Overview and Scrutiny Committee meeting as the Crime and Disorder Committee. Good evening. Good evening. And I've lost my place and my prompt already, which is not a good sign, is it? My name is Councillor Bell, and I'm chairman of this committee. And before we commence the business of the meeting, there are a few housekeeping issues to run through. Members, the setup for the meeting has been designed to mitigate for COVID. Therefore, can I ask all present to work to the protocols agreed at Council on 2nd of September 2021 in the interest of member and officer safety. We are streaming this meeting live as well as recording, and by being present in the meeting, you are giving your consent to being recorded. Members and officers, during each item, please put your hand up to indicate if you wish to speak. Councillor Bill. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask and hang on, let me just see if is that any better? Okay, right, I'll try and speak up as well. Hilariously, please note that the YouTube live stream sound recording is dependent on the correct use of the microphones. So therefore, when invited to speak, please turn on your microphone and turn it off when finished. Please reference a page or paragraph number when referring to the agenda papers. Keep your contributions as clear and concise as possible. Finally, can I draw your attention to the notices on the agenda papers regarding the different levels within the chamber, and advise that the fire exit is the door behind this top table, which I believe we can get out of tonight. Now, if I may ask officers and other speakers taking part in the meeting to introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Holmes, please. Thank you. Mr. Clark.
Good evening, Spencer Clark. I'm the Community Safety Manager for Malden District Council.
Thank you. Sergeant Dolby, is it?
Correct, yeah. Sergeant Dolby from the Community Protection Team, Policing Team over at Chelmsford.
Thank you. And Carl, pull in, please.
Carl Pullen, Station Manager for Malden, Burnham, Tillingham and Salisbury.
Thank you very much. Any other officers present? No, not that I can see. May I ask those councillors in attendance to introduce themselves, please, starting with Councillor Stamp.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Councillor Stamp, the leader of the council. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Morris.
Chairman, sorry.
You meant to say point of order.
Councillor Morris, please. Councillor
Well,
Stamp.
you asked me to introduce myself and she's interrupted.
I'm afraid I probably interrupted Councillor Stamp. I believe I did interrupt you, Councillor Stamp, and I do apologise for that.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Could I just ask that we don't have a running commentary? I've already heard a councillor sitting on the inner ring call an officer of this council a snowflake. I don't know what he's just called me, but I don't think it's acceptable. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
What I have to say, I don't mind saying to anyone, and what I did say is that Richard Holmes is a snowflake.
Councillor Morris, that is, I'm afraid that's your first warning, because
you can warn me all you want. I will say my truth.
I'm
elected. I'm allowed to speak.
I'm not having personal abuse directed.
I said it to myself. I didn't say it to him. He knows how I feel anyway. He said a lot worse about me.
I cannot have this atmosphere in a meeting that I'm chairing.
What I said about Councillor Stamp when she said leader is that she's a bad one. I also believe she is.
I'm afraid
she's a bad leader.
I'm going to have to move that you are not heard.
That's fine. That's fine.
Seconder.
Would you like to turn that off so I have to use this? Because I will be heard. I will be heard.
Members.
Testing.
Okay, I shall move on now. Can I move on? I shall move on. May I have the apologies for absence, please, Stuart?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. We've had received no apologies for absence tonight.
Councillor Morris.
Point of order was you did ask me to introduce myself as in attendance. So good evening.
I thought you did, Councillor Morris.
Well, not the way I intended to introduce myself.
Not the way I intended you to.
No, because I was interrupted, wasn't I? But Councillor Morris sitting in attendance for Haybridge West. Thank you.
Moving on. We have no apologies for absence. Was that, Stuart?
That's correct. No apologies.
Madam Chairman, apologies from Richard Dewitt, please.
Oh, apologies from Richard Dewitt. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor.
Sorry, was that received by point of order. Was that received
Councillor
by?
Morris, please.
Was that received by the committee,
Right.
or was that just put in now? Because I believe that that is
Councillor
not
Morris.
the correct procedure. Is that the correct procedure, Chairman?
Members, I cannot answer that. I'm going to have to ask you again, please.
Well, Councillor
Okay.
Bell, I'm told that the procedure is that when someone gives absence, it goes to the committee clerk before the meeting. It's not just done in the middle of the meeting when the meeting started. Is that, are we following procedure or are we not following procedure?
I'm going to have to close the meeting. I'm really sorry, members. I'm going to have to close this meeting because it's getting out of hand. I do apologise. I do apologise to all of you who've taken your time out this evening to come. Time is 7:35 and I'm closing.
Can't take a point of order.
Meeting is closed.